Self-pity is a really ugly thing. One of my favourite sort of scenes or paragraphs from books, it's a fantasy book that I read a long time ago, I've read it since, is a book called Lyrial. And in the book, there's a scene where the main protagonist, Lyrial, has a companion dog. The dog's kind of like magical, it's really besides the point, but it can talk. And they're going through a tough scenario. And Lyrial, the main character, is sort of starting to kind of get into her own head a little bit, and she's kind of had like a bit of a traumatic situation and stuff, and she's just being really pitiful. And her companion dog turns around, and he's compassionate at first. He sort of pays attention, he doesn't rush her, he's listening, he's trying to be supportive and stuff. And eventually just turns around and just gives her a bit of a nip, and she shouts and says, "Ow, what was that for?" And he says, now you're angry and not just being pitiful, which is an ugly thing. That's not the words exactly. I probably have to look them up and write them down next time. But he's basically telling her that wallowing in self-pity is an ugly thing, and it's mostly useless. In fact, it's completely useless. Better to be a little bit angry about something and do something rather than wallow in despair. So why am I kind of like telling you a story? What's the point in this video? Well, besides avoiding self-pity, which I agree is kind of an ugly thing, it's not pretty to see anybody being sort of self-pitying. But the main point of the video is centered around the idea of never giving up. It's another rule I want to live by, and I've fallen short of it, and there are times where I've given up. And there's a difference between sort of giving up and quitting something. There are a lot of things that you should quit. If you smoke, or if you drink too much, or like bad habits, whatever it might be, there are a lot of things that people should quit. But there are very few, I can't really think of any scenarios where you should give up on something. If it is something that has, an importance of any kind to yourself, you should never really give up on it, no matter how hard it gets. I've been running for quite a few years now, and the reason I've ran 3 marathons basically during this time, and I went from kind of 0 to running marathons in a year. Literally struggling 2 kilometers after a year, managed to run a marathon. Now, the first 2 times I tackled the marathon, first year and the second year, I gave up, or more accurately, probably say gave in. During both marathons, which I finished both, one thing or another kind of got to me, and my mental capacity broke. I gave in. I gave up. I could have pushed myself harder to kind of keep going. It wasn't a case of quitting because, I'd injured myself or whatever, some genuine, reason to quit. It was a mental capacity problem and toughness and giving up. When you give up on something, you're surrendering victory and the idea of that thing that you hopefully valued and you wanted to accomplish or complete or cherish, whatever it might be. You're giving it up in more of an act of defeat rather than quitting something you shouldn't be doing. Never give up. It is really, really difficult sometimes to stick with something, and finding the difference of like quitting versus giving up. Giving up feels more like you're not ending it, you're not kind of giving up and walking away, you're accepting defeat, you're letting something kind of conquer your own will, and basically just, can't put it any way, it's just giving up, right? When otherwise you wouldn't. Much better to strive and really hang on, never give up, quit things that you shouldn't, but don't give up, especially when it gets tough. Thanks for watching.